What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on? This video gonna be about I was forced to become an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, at the age of 18, or even before 18, I wanted to, already have my business and everything like that. Now, I was just like everybody in the world who thought that if you go to school and you go to school to like become a business owner and everything like that, that's the way to go, right? But you will find out that teachers don't know nothing about business. They don't know nothing about banks. They don't know anything about that, right? So I caught a felony conviction at 18, so it prevented me from going to the military. It prevented me from even being able to go to college in certain, universities and everything like that. So when I found out that, once I had a conviction, I'm like, you know what? I want to become an entrepreneur. Now, I didn't know what avenue to really take specifically because, it's a million things on YouTube. Oh, you can become a billionaire or $40. I was chasing a dream, right? With like becoming a billionaire, establishing a whole new life. So that's when I jump into, e-commerce like Amazon, eBay, right? And it worked for me for a few years, but you're not going to understand how to become an entrepreneur until you understand the banks. One thing I wish everybody learned as a child is how to utilize the banks. And what I mean by utilizing the banks, right? By the time you're 18 years old, your parents should already put you on as an authorized user. You should already have an established credit score, right? Just so when you become 18, you will be able to get major credit lines. You will be able to hop on a corporation that your parents started since you was like 9 years old, right? And put some age to that corporation. Just so you will put yourself in a position where you can build houses. You could put 10% down to borrow $1 million to build real estate. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of power in being an entrepreneur, but a lot of entrepreneurs don't know the ways of the banks. So everybody, let's say for instance, you will look at Tesla. You will look at Amazon, right? You will look at Bank of America, right? Not Bank of America, but let's just say you look at builders like construction companies. You will look at Grant Cardone, and you will say, man, they became rich off an idea. But you don't understand that many corporations and companies all get rich strictly off the banks. And since a lot of people don't know how to, utilize or get the banks to lend to them, is because they haven't been fully edified about credit. So since we don't know what business credit is, we don't understand what personal credit is, and we don't understand like how to build it the proper way instead of just having a score, that's what always push the people back with the business and understanding like how this stuff works, because most millionaires are made through the banks because they understand it. So like you look at someone like Robert Kiyosaki, he has tell you, look, the bank is my best friend. All I do is constantly borrow debt, and you will find out what is debt, right? So when you buy debt and like in real estate terms, right? So pretty much it's called a 4-to-1 step up. So you will put a 10% down deposit most of the time for any real estate project you're trying to invest into, right? Me, I'm in the field right now where I'm about to become a developer. I'm gonna be showing you guys my blueprints and everything like that on how to buy blueprints and everything. So you will find out that what am I about to say? So okay, a 4-to-1 step up. So if you put 10% down, right? Say if the project is worth $1 million, right? So you put 10% down, that's $100,000 you have to put down as collateral for the bank so you can be able to borrow $1 million. So 10% purchase $1 million worth of real estate. Say if that real estate was to sell for $1.8 million. So if it's sold for $1.8 million, that means the net that you would make from that whole entire deal is $800,000. Now you will find out that a lot of companies and corporations are using real estate, right? And they putting a small percentage down to develop, whether it be homes, whether it be mixed-use condominiums, whether it be retail stores and etc. You will find out that most companies use the banks as a financier to perform their project. Now, a lot of misconceptions is a lot of people get screwed by the bank because they always have to put down their social security number. They always have to take a personal guarantor, and that's what messed a lot of people up. They're like, oh, you gotta have an 800 credit score. But Robert Kiyosaki was one of those entrepreneurs, was like, you know, a FICO score don't mean nothing in the business world. Like, you know, every bank should be looking at your business credentials, or, you know, your business tax returns, or your financial statements. Your financial statements is showing the bank how well are you with money. You know, what is your financial portfolio? So one way to get rich is to understand the banks. And so when I was forced to become an entrepreneur, I found out about understanding the banks from a better perspective than just coming up with an idea. So, you know, ideas is cool. Like, say if you make Tesla and everything like that, but who's financing the idea? It's the banks. Now, the banks, it don't really matter about race. It doesn't matter about your nationality. It doesn't matter about your belief system. Banks all operate off of criteria. So if you meet the criteria of the banks, they have to let you in, especially if you have credit age, especially if you have mixed up accounts, especially if you have collateral. All those things is necessary when trying to become a successful business and everything like that. So you know, that's very relevant to know. So if you want to learn how to get rich, you want to learn, you know, about the banks. How can I borrow $1 million to build a construction, or a mall? How can I get $2 million or $3 million from the bank? How can I borrow those funds? And they'll give you the criteria. Oh, you need $40,000 to borrow $400,000, right? Say if the project is very small. So these are all relevant topics, y'all. So children. So if you got kids, right, under 18, and they want to know how to increase their financial life and how to, you know, make millions of dollars, tell the children to use the banks. That's what they're here for. That's what Chase here for. That's what Bank of America is here for. That's what TD Bank is here for. They all here for consumer goods. They all here for lending, right? That's what the bank is used for. So you got to use it. You know, there's no reason for a lot of people to try to make an idea manifest to something crazy and outrageous, versus they can find a method on how to use the banks for their own benefit. That's what they're here for. They're here to lend you money. They're here to invest or lend to projects and everything like that. So my whole objective is, if you don't know anything about money, if you don't know where you want to go, try to learn how to use the banks. So if you learn how to use the banks, you can take whatever credit they give you, whatever lending that they give you, you can use that to invest. So that's my advice. So I took that, and then I knew that was gonna work, right? Because me being an employee was shut down. You know, I couldn't work at a prestigious job like Chase, or I couldn't be a teacher or anything like that. So once I found out about that, so I knew I had to hop into the entrepreneur world, and the entrepreneur world is 1,000 times more beneficial. Because as an entrepreneur, I understand this one thing: money is credit. Money is trash. Cash is trash, y'all. So everything today is run off credit. So every time you invest into real estate, you are buying debt. So if I put 10% down, I am buying $1 million in debt. And debt is what keeps the rich richer, and taxes and everything like that is what keeps the poor and middle class poor, because they don't understand that to get rich in America, you are getting rich by using debt. So that's all I gotta say, man. I'm out.